My name's Jeremy Rees and I'm currently the chairman of the AEV. The chair sort of sits for 2 years and one of the board, and the role really is to bring everyone together and to help sort of steer over a period of 2 years the sort of strategy and really to work with the Secretariat, so Rachel Parker, who really drives it forward, and to make sure we can get sort of consensus from all of our members, of which there are now over 40, to bring together some strategy, some opportunity, but really to talk about key issues that we have as venues, whether that be customer-centric or whether that be venue-centric or security issues, and also to make sure that we get the most out of all the working groups that we have. So we've had nearly 30 working groups this year from very specific subjects that enable our members at the AEV to sort of maximise their participation, but also to learn, to meet and to engage and to try and drive our industry forward from a health and safety perspective, from a technology perspective. And some of them are cross-party effectively, so with the AEO and ExCeL. And it's important to engage cross-association to sort of maximise the impact we can have as an association, both from a government lobbying perspective as well as in the detail, whether that be food safety or whether that be to create new and innovative technology solutions to create something really exciting as a channel to drive value for visitors, exhibitors, organisers and ourselves. The concept of the conference, and we're now in its second year, was really to talk to our members from an operational perspective, the future leaders of our industry, to get them to convene, to come together, to listen, to learn, to collaborate, to have a good time. I mean, the icebreaker last night was a great example of what we do best, which is getting together, sharing stories, having a glass of wine, but also spending a bit of time with some partners. So Freeman's, who are sponsors, as well as Ungebot and sponsored, just to get together, to listen, to learn, to spend a bit of time together and to engage. We've got a steering committee that believe that we should be able to create genuinely world-class experiences for visitors and exhibitors. So anything in and around that, whether that be technology provision, creating a very secure environment from a health and safety perspective, but also listening to what our customers feel, which is why Stuart Johnson gave a fantastic presentation this morning about what drives them and what motivates them. So, what we find from a steering committee is if we talk about issues in the industry, there's a fair amount of meetings of minds from a venue perspective, but not just exhibitions, also some conference centres as well, also large-scale arenas like the O2, coming together to really try and create an environment where we can listen and learn and drive forward really, really good practice. All the members of the AEV, whether large scale or small scale, have very similar needs in lots of ways. What we're trying to do is create a great world-class environment that's safe and secure, and we're all trying to lead. So whether you're a smaller venue, whether you're an outdoor venue, whether you're an arena, whether you're international, genuinely there's something for everyone, and that really matters. And one of the reasons why the steering groups are really important for us is, you have the conference as one of the propositions, but also these steering groups where the operators of the venues can get together, share best practice and work together and learn from each other. Because what's terribly important to Farnborough might be different from that in the O2, but there's commonality in a number of those areas. So sharing that best practice is really important from an AEV association perspective. Security is absolutely up there as one of the most important criteria from any venue's perspective. So the anti-terrorist branch as well as the police and all the other authorities are giving very good advice via Project Griffin and other areas, which we would certainly sort of conform to and work with, as well as our organising partners and contractors. So I don't know what they're going to say. I'm reasonably confident it'll be some new information there, and there'll be some old information which will reinforce best practice. But it comes from a basic premise from our perspective, which is what we want to do is create an environment that's as safe and as secure as we possibly can. Listen, technology is hugely important to venues because it's hugely important to our customers. It's something which is embedded in our life now and something that we're embracing. It's adding value to and complementary to events. It's driving new ways of engaging people. It's enhancing people's experience, and data is at the heart of everything I suspect we're going to be doing in the future, whether that be delivering food, whether that be improving pre-registration, whether that be enhancing exhibiting experiences to enable people to follow up in an effective way. So if we can use technology to create a great event experience, better return on investment, enhanced data capture that then drives value, that's a great thing. And of course, technology isn't just about creating a return on investment, it's also about creating a secure environment. So from facial recognition through to other software solutions, my sense is that if we don't embrace technology, we'll start to fall behind. But when I look around our industry, what I can see is a lot of organisers and contractors and venues looking to establish how they can leverage tech to create new opportunities. Are we there yet? No. Are we going to try and get there? Yes. But one thing's absolutely for certain. What we've got to do is try and attract more talent that can leverage technology and bring in new experience that can drive our industry forward.
I'm Jazmin Beale, I'm Head of Marketing and Communications for Olympia London. I look after bringing in new leads and inquiries, helping to retain existing events through marketing support, and also just we're quite a new brand, so looking after all of the branding, reputation management and things like that. I didn't come last year because I wasn't sure that the content would be as relevant to myself as a marketing person as perhaps other conferences and other industry events, but just this morning I found it really interesting. We've heard a lot about an international perspective on venues and events, and also I've been getting some good ideas. It's just nice to really share ideas and best practice from venue to venue, which is totally unique to the industry. I'm chair of the communications working group, so that's where myself and the other marketing managers, communications managers get together, and we'll kind of have a long coffee and long discussion about issues that are coming up for us as venue marketeers. So I came up to that yesterday, and that was the main driver, and then I thought I might as well stay for the conference, and I'm glad I have. With venue, I think it would be really interesting to get some case studies from other venues, what they're doing in terms of campaigns, what their struggles are, what their opportunities and threats are, but also I'm always really interested to hear about big brands. So later today we're hearing from somebody who works at Birmingham Airport. That's interesting because I think it's the bigger brands who have the bigger challenges and the bigger teams, and actually you can learn so much more if you're kind of thinking outside of the box and looking at different industries.
Hello, my name is James Mark. I am an independent venue consultant. I've been working in the events industry and venue industry for over 20 years. Formerly one of the executive directors at ExCeL, where I had a remit over developing a new commercial division around ancillary revenue, and certainly looking at catering and food and beverage strategy as part of that. And I'm now helping to advise venues on their strategy particularly around service provision, customer service. And one of the key projects I'm working on at the moment actually is delivering the IAAF World Athletics Championships this year that's taking place in the London Stadium. So it was really looking at the role of food in creating dynamic and world-class venue and event experiences. And the idea was really to be able to draw out some of the key topics and key trends that are going on around the industry, and trying to impart a bit of knowledge, I guess, from the panellists, trying to extract that from them to be able to share some thoughts around how venues can make more of their food and beverage proposition. No doubt technology plays a big part in the future direction of delivering food and beverage amongst all other venue services as well. And I think that what you start to see on the high street, the high street will generally lead first, but that will slowly then get translated back into venue strategy. So things like delivery systems, it's a very natural way for it to develop within the events industry. As I say, you see it on the high street first, the things that work then filter back into our sector. And I don't think we'll necessarily be the front runners in any of that, but certainly looking out for best practice and then seeing how we can make that work within our sector as well.
My name's Martin Clark and I'm the Marketing Director for the venue here in the NEC in Birmingham. We are based in the Vox Conference Centre, which is in Resorts World on the campus at the NEC, and it's actually run by the NEC Group, but it's inside Resorts World here in Birmingham. Dinosaurs in the Wild is a brand new, what we call a long stay exhibition. From the NEC's point of view, long stay is important because from a strategic point of view, venues are normally fairly quiet through the summer months. So venues always have challenges on their calendars to try and flatten out that calendar and obviously increase occupancy. So this is actually a run of 10 weeks. So it started, opened this weekend, just gone on Saturday, and it's an immersive experience. It's really got a really wide appeal. So it will be families, it can be couples, it's theatre, it's classed as an exhibition, and it lasts for about 70 minutes. And it's quite unique. So the organisers have chosen Birmingham as their world first launch. So this is quite unique for the venue as an exhibition. It then goes on to Manchester and then London thereafter. So we're quite privileged to have this as a world first piece of experience here in the NEC. We always work with our organisers as close as we possibly can, but we're really bringing the regional play to this. Organisers generally have obviously really good marketing teams. There's lots of national marketing, and you'll also potentially have agencies, potentially London agencies. And I think certainly from Birmingham aspects, we know the region really, really well. So we're working really hard at pulling all the levers that we've got at our play, all the stakeholders that we work with across the region, to really ensure that everybody knows about this, and obviously using every channel we can to hopefully sell as many tickets as we possibly can. The NEC has a number of key stakeholders like the Chamber of Commerce in Solihull in Birmingham. We work really closely with all of the hotels, closely with Marketing Birmingham. So way back 2 or 3 months ago, we set up events with Marketing Birmingham to bring the stakeholders together, and then we actually showed the preview to those stakeholders of what Dinosaurs in the World was all about. So we talked to the organisers, and we got the creative director, a guy called Tim Haynes, to come along to the ICC and really tell the story. And I think once they told the story, they started to get excited about that. And then key to that is following that up with things like a marketing toolbox. So what it is, video clips, all of the assets and collateral that you'd expect. But our responsibility is to try and bring that to life and ensure that every stakeholder in Birmingham and the wider region knows what it is, understands how they can get involved, and ultimately for the organiser and for us as well, we want to just sell as many tickets as possible to get people to come to the experience. I think from the regional play, you sometimes assume that people know what you know, and I think you can look at national campaigns, you can employ an agency, you can look at the demographics, you can place your media where you think it can be. And I think all venues, the NEC and other venues as well, really do have that instinct, that knowledge about where to place certain things at the region to have the maximum effect. And that's not just advertising, that's PR coverage as well. On this particular one, our PR and comms team worked really, really well, worked with the BBC, worked with all the local press to really make sure that we push the region and people know where it is. Because at the end of the day, the organisers want to talk about the products, which is absolutely the right thing to do, but obviously we need to tell everybody where it is and when it is. And I think sometimes those key messages can sometimes be put second or third, but people need to know, where and when.
Hi, good morning. My name's Michael Watton. I'm from Farnborough International. Well, my job at Farnborough is venue director, and I was brought in specifically for the new venue development, the £30 million investment in a new home for the air show and a new venue for the UK industry. I'm a great fan of the AEV. I sit on the AEV board, and I would not miss the opportunity to attend the conference. I was here last year, and it's an opportunity for us to share best practice and to hear from some external perspectives about how we're perceived and what we can do to improve the product that we offer. We're only halfway through the day, and there are 2 standout sessions for me so far particularly. The first was the external perspective from the event organiser, particularly somebody who is new to the event organising industry. So Stuart's session on the perspective from an event organiser was particularly interesting for me. And secondly, the catering session and the panel discussion around trends in the industry and what the consumer is looking for, because increasingly that particular aspect of our business is being led by consumer trends and the vast changes, the fast changing market that we're in at the moment. Farnborough is of course known for the International Air Show, which takes place every other year. The next air show is in 2018, not February, that's when the new venue is opening, and we're investing £30 million in new permanent infrastructure specifically designed to meet the needs of the air show, but also for the wider industry for third-party events that may be allied with the aerospace industry, but certainly suitable for a wide variety of different event types and industry sectors. And we think we've got a real offer to the marketplace using our experience in organising the air show and bringing a venue that is specifically purpose-built for the industry to the market. We're talking to a lot of aerospace-related organisers of conferences and events, and of course the corporate market is particularly lucrative, and we're very lucky that the aerospace is a high-value sector with a long lead-in time, so it's a certainty around the prospects for the industry going forward. But we're not just in the aerospace sector, and we're talking to a number of particularly interesting organisers of a wide variety of events, whether they're conferences, exhibitions or hybrids.
Food is hugely important. We just had a really good session on food and catering and ways we can enhance the event experience. And James Mark took that. He was one of the leads at ExCeL when we invested £15 million in the Boulevard, because we fundamentally believe that we should be offering huge choice. But that's just hygiene factor, really. What we need to be delivering is a great experience. Some brands, some fresh food, some cooked food, some burgers, really creating an opportunity for people to choose, first and foremost. But I also think we should be creating an environment that makes people feel special and that allows people to personalise their experience. So food plays a massive part in how we can drive return on investment, but most importantly engage emotionally with exhibitors who, after all, are perhaps making decisions to rebook stands based on emotional decisions rather than hard ROI. So if we can tick that box, we all win, because after all, the venue only succeeds when the organiser succeeds, and the organiser only succeeds when exhibitors and visitors have a great time and create value. So it's a perfect circle, and if we all move forward and use food to drive that, that's a great thing.